South Park is a show created by Matt Stone and Trey Parker where we follow four boys, Clinton, Kenny, Kyle, and Stan, getting into tons of crazy misadventures. I fucking love this show, full-heartedly. Everything from the paper cutout animation to the fire music just culminates with my sense of humor, and I guess it culminated with millions, if not billions, others did too. And now we're here. Over the show's ongoing 25 years, there has been a lot of merchandise, everything from toys to CDs to DVDs to video games, and I'm gonna cover as much as I can in today's video. So let's begin, shall we? Back in 2003 to 2005, the toy company My Rage released 40 series of action figures based off various characters in the show. The figures ranged from 5 to 6 inches tall and typically had fucking horrendous articulation, with there only being one point of articulation, and it was mostly on the neck. There are typically accessories included with the figures, and the figures were apparently hollow. Series 1 had the four main characters, Pointman, Stan, Cal, and Butters. Around this time was when Kenny was supposed to be killed off permanently, and Butters was supposed to be the replacement for Kenny. The figures themselves in Series 1 look rough for multiple little reasons. For example, Pointman looks mad, but the eyebrows for when he's mad aren't there, so he just looks really fucking stupid. And then you see that his mouth has this really little sharp turn in it, which makes it just look weird. And his buttons are way too circular and looking odd to how straightly they're lined. And also, Coinman's head is supposed to look like a near perfect oval, but here his head looks like a round square. These types of problems plague the first series of large figures, making them look uncanny and off-model, some far more than others, but they're all still off-model. The main place where Series 1 shines is the accessories, because Cartman has Mr. Kitty, Kyle has Ike, Stan has Sparky, and Butters has an underpants gnome. All of the accessories look great, and they're mostly accurate to what the characters revealed in the show. I still don't know why Butters has an underpants gnome. That seems more like a Tweak thing. Speaking of Tweak, actually, Series 2 has Tweak, Timmy, Towley, and Kenny. The figures themselves look just as off-model. The Towley and Timmy figures are especially off-model because Timmy's head is way too circular and Towley is wider than the goatee man's ass. Kenny has one problem. His head got too far pushed back and now it looks like he has fucking brain damage. Then this Tweak, who looks really good actually. He's accurate and has two gnomes. Kenny comes with a rat, Towley has the South Park sign, and Timmy has Gobble the Turkey. Series 3 came out, and they actually decided to add a fifth figure slot, and this series had Mr. Garrison, the Encointment, Chef, Wendy, and Satan. This set easily looks the best so far. For once, all the characters are mostly on model and don't look super odd. Chef is easily the best of the series. He looks fantastic and is incredibly detailed. Leon looks a bit odd, but that's mostly due to a character not being easily convertible to 3D. However, the figure does have some of its own faults, like the skin color problem, which will not be uncommon, trust me when I say that. And, the fact how her nose is supposed to be a bump, not a triangle. Wendy looks pretty good. Her skin color's a bit off, but other than that, she's fine. Mr. Garrison is definitely the low point in the series' quality. He looks very off and weird to me personally. And then finally, we have Satan, who looks fucking fantastic, like holy shit. He's colored fantastically and he has all the details he needs, like goddamn. The chef comes with a cool spatula, Wendy comes with a heart-shaped cookie, Mr. Garrison comes with Mr. Hat, the Encointment comes with powdered pancake donut surprise, and Satan doesn't have an accessory. The final series comprises of Big Gay Al, Mr. Mackey, Officer Barbary, and Jimmy. Before I talk about the series, I need to mention the fact that this series shows how much better the figures became over time, and this series actually never got officially sold in retail stores, but instead online. Let's go what's the best for this series, and after let's rank every single figure. Jimmy looks really odd because he only has a design that can work in 2D, and it really doesn't work well here. His skin color is once again slightly off, and also his legs can break off easily because A, look how scrawny they are on the figure, and B, the figures are hollow. Big Al looks really good in figure form, and he seemingly isn't incorrectly colored, and he looks really well sculpted and colored. However, those eyes are staring so deeply into my skull that I really don't like it compared to the others. Mr. Barbary looks really good too. He's incredibly detailed and has proper color. The details do go a bit too far on the head though, because I can see the wrinkles in his head and I really do not think they should be that detailed. Finally, there's Mr. Mackey, who looks perfect because he has correct colors and a really good sculpt. Now for accessories. Jimmy comes with a stand-up mic, Barbary comes with 2 chickens, Big Gay Al comes with a gaggle of gay goose, and Mackey comes with another head based off an episode called Ike's Wee Wee. Overall, here's my ranking. Overall, these figures showed a looser time in South Park history. At best, they look crude, and at worst, they look heavily off-model. But they all have a lot of charm to them, and I love them because of that. They all look super stupid but adorable at the same time. From 1998 to 2005, the company Fanfor, who released Sonic Adventure plushies, decided to release a shit ton of South Park plushies. So many, in fact, to where I can't cover them all in one video. So I'm just gonna pick my favorites. The four main boys are here, and they look really great. They're made out of incredibly high quality materials. Cartman looks extra fat with that double chin, and something I would like to know is that character colors are a bit fucked up when it comes to eyes, because the eyes are supposed to be white, but they look a bit yellowish on most plushies. Kyle's trapper hat looks a bit darker than it should be, and Kenny's entire head is pushed too far back in his hoodie to the point in time where it's farther back than my friend Bryson's hairline. Funfoil also released the best plush known to man, which is of course Beefcake Cartman. Right out of the way, Adventure 1 Sonic plush, Beefcake Cartman has you beat. He's just regular Cartman, but dripped out with the beefcake shirt. He also looks happy instead of upset. He's also in limited edition, but so he's harder to find. They made this really neat looking Frozen Kenny, and a Cartman that has one thing that I unfortunately don't. He has a forta. One plush I really like is the infamous Stan Man plush. He's a plush of Cartman, but with Stan's details. And the cool thing about him is that there's only two known in existence. One of them was found in a Hot Topic sometime in '98, and I don't know what the other one is. South Park has had a shit ton of golden music, and as a result, it's surprising to see that not too much of it has been released on its own on CDs. The CDs were released quickly because there were like 5 of them in the span of 2 years, and since there's so little, I'm gonna talk about all of them. The first CD was the soundtrack to South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, which had the entirety of the movie's soundtrack, and it had this really cool art on the case. Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classic came out a couple months later, and it was interesting because it had an episode to go alongside it that used music from the album itself. The album contains Christmas songs sung by a lot of characters in the show, and some original music, of course. The album that released after Hanky's Classic was one of the best albums known to man. Chef 8 has a shit ton of famous artists and bands like Primus, Reem, Elton John, making fire tracks that slap harder than your pants in bed. One thing to note is that there were actually 3 versions of this album that were released, and they all had different levels of censorship: clean, explicit, and extreme. To me, The Underlords only had 2 songs released on it in 2000, and the final CD was the first season's commentary, which had Master and Trey Parker comment over the entire first season of South Park. It was originally supposed to appear on the DVD release of the first season, but it was cut and didn't make the final cut. You know, speaking of DVDs actually, there were 7 volume DVDs for South Park which contained everything from Season 1's pilot, Cartman's Anal Probe, all the way to Season 2 Prehistoric Iceman. One thing I really like is that all the covers are stylized for a DVD. For example, what I mean is, in Volume 5, that Kenny, Cal, and Stan are wearing the dodgeball clothes from Conjoined Fetus Lady, and Cartman is dressed up as the old woman from Mexican Staring Frog of Southern Sri Lanka. There were also DVDs based off episodes that were covers on the DVD, like how on the DVD for Christmas Time in South Park, on the cover was an image that showed a bunch of versions of the characters from Christmas episodes, or how on the Passion of the Jew DVD, Kyle dressed up on the cover. There were 4 big sets that contained 5 seasons each on them, and they all had images of the 4 main kids on them, and they were also the first 23 seasons have been released on DVD, which actually had 2 different versions for packaging. The first version of packaging had this cardboard box that you could open up, and it had all the discs inside, and it pretty much showed, all the air dates on the episodes, and it was just really fancy. The other season sets just used regular DVD cases, and you have to actually smosh a lot of the unique art and air dates together. And that was a wrap up on South Park merchandise. I'm sorry I couldn't talk about more stuff in this video. This video actually has to be made incredibly quickly due to my circumstances with time. But hey, if you guys want me to make a part 2, I will gladly make a part 2. But until then, this has been Sonic 201, and I'll see you all next time.